Hello friends, welcome to our channel IAS Help Desk, and today we will discuss about UNICEF report on COVID-19. This report is specific to its impact on children. As we can observe that COVID-19 has impact at various level, that is social level, at economical level, also at political levels. So our today's discussion will be specific about its impact on children. And also, we'll be keeping our discussion focused towards the pattern and type of questions asked by UPSC. We'll be looking into various basic terms which will come across our discussion. Then we'll be discussing about the impact on poverty and malnutrition. Poverty and malnutrition are already a matter of great concern, and so we'll be seeing that how COVID-19 has further aggravated this situation. And then we'll be seeing that the impact on health and education, and further the recommendations given by UNICEF. One important thing which we should know about our today's discussion before we start is that the report which we have taken, it mentions the South Asian children. The UNICEF report, it mentions the South Asian children specifically, as we can see that most of the developing countries are located here. So we will address the issue with the respect of South Asian countries, and then we can see the brief about its COVID-19 impact and its economic and social consequences of lockdown. Okay, now here we will not go into the details of COVID-19, but yes, let me give you some of its briefs, basic briefs. COVID-19 is an infectious disease. It is caused by coronavirus, and it gets transmitted through the droplets, which majorly affects our lungs. Now, let me give you some data given by UNICEF. UNICEF in 2016 reported that around 240 million children across South Asia were living in multidimensional poverty. And now let me explain you in brief what is multidimensional poverty. By this, when we say multidimensional poverty, we take a comprehensive picture into consideration. And here we not only count who is poor, but we are also looking and we are also studying that how they are poor. And so the range of different disadvantages they are experiencing, we are also taking into account. So the report says that there are already existing 240 million children into that level, and this COVID-19 is going to push 120 million children more over the poverty line. Now, if we see the impact of COVID-19 on malnutrition, then we already know that South Asian countries are developing countries, and hence the concept of malnutrition, the concept of poverty is very much intense to it. And so these developing countries are very much struggling to deal with these kind of issues. And so the COVID-19 situation, the COVID-19 pandemic has further aggravated their condition. And here the UNICEF report, what it shares is 7.7 million children already suffer from severe wasting. Now let me give you a brief about severe wasting or acute malnutrition or wasting in children under 5. By all these three, we refer to those children who are thin for their heights. That means their weight is not in a appropriate balance to their height. And why it is so? This is because of acute food shortages or disease. So we can characterize this acute malnutrition by saying that there is a decline in nutritional status over a short period of time in children, and especially under the age of 5 years. So why UNICEF is taking this acute malnutrition or wasting in children under 5, these concepts? Because these children are higher risk of dying. So as we read that 7.7 million children are already suffering from severe wasting, and then one third children of under 5 age are stunted, and the data says that 40 million children are from India itself. So we can see that there is a large number of population in South Asian countries which falls under the category of either poor or malnutrition or both, and hence making them more vulnerable in this pandemic situation. So, if we see some of the factors responsible for further aggravating the situation, can be seen as from March 2020, that is when the situation started getting more intense, then government decided for complete lockdown and hence putting a pause over all the economic activities, which further led to massive loss of job and income. So all these things affected poorer families harder and hence making them to struggle to provide nutritious meal for their children. Among this, further adding on to the intensification of situation, rising food prices further made the situation more challenging. And why this rising food prices? Because of hoardings which were going on, and then demand and supply gap, and then also due to transport links which connects to the market are temporarily stopped. And hence we can say that all these are contributing factors in further worsening the situation. So, as we all saw, that this pandemic is putting a greater risk in the form of food insecurity, and especially for the poorer families. Here, the report also says that urban population are at greater risk of food insecurity than the rural population. Why it is so? Because people in rural areas can use their home produced items to supplement their diets. Now, if we take example of some other countries like Sri Lanka, for which the report says that 30% of the families reduce their consumption. Then if we take example of Bangladesh, then there also report said the same thing, that there is reduction in consumption. Also adding that the poorest of the families are unable to afford the 3 meals of a day. Now, if we talk about the impact on health, then we can see that there is a complete diversion in the health sector. Whether if we take the service providers, that is doctors and hospitals, or if we take the patients. So diversion, why do we see diversion? It is because of greater number of services is required as more and more number of people getting affected, and hence people suffering from other diseases are falling short of medical staffs and treatments. For example, if we see that at least 1.5 million children in Uttar Pradesh missed their vaccine doses due to COVID-19, and hence we can see that other vital health services are seriously affected. Also, as per the report, 9,17,000 children and mothers in South Asia may die in next 12 months. The report also says that there may be deaths of 8,81,000 of children under the age of 5, and hence major impact can be seen on the developing countries like India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. Now, if we talk about the impact on education, then we can see that even before the arrival of pandemic, that is COVID-19, the South Asian countries were struggling to enhance their respective education sector. As per the report also, 31.8 million children of primary and lower secondary age are either out of school or at the risk of dropping out. Now let me tell you, there are various surveys which reveals that the children of South Asian countries complete their primary education without having any basic literacy or numeracy skills. And then we can see that this pandemic has disrupted teaching schedules and exams, due to which the 430 million children and youth are deprived of schooling, and that too for several months. And so, to cater this, all the governments have come up with various initiatives and creative learning programs. But here also they face challenges like unavailability of electricity, unavailability of internet connection, and many a times lack of technical knowledge. Now, if we see cases in India, then it has affected the school feeding and nutritional programs, and due to which the incidence of like confinement of children at home and child abuse and violence against children, all these cases has increased. Now, let's see how it is going to impact on the mental health of a child. So, the children already suffering from some kind of abuse like discrimination, etc., will be worst affected. How? Because they're already under a pressure of living with inferiority complex. Also, we can say that the situation becomes more serious in the societies where physical punishment is quite prevalent and accepted as a means of disciplining children. And then, if we talk about the safety of girls and women, which is already a vulnerable section in our society, then it becomes a major concern. And if I remind you to the girls and women who are living in overcrowded refugee camps, then they are to be provided with proper securities. And then, if we analyze the situation and what could probably happen, then we can see that it could lead to increase in child marriages. And there are two reasons for this. First, the family will have less number of member to feed, and if it's a girl child, then no burden to protect the girl, and if in case it's a boy child, then the burden will be shifted on him to protect his wife. Now, here comes the most important part of our discussion, that is the recommendations given by UNICEF. The very first recommendation that comes in is in the form of continuing the life saving vaccinations, because looking for those people who are elderly and already going under some kind of treatment. And then the recommendations also talk about ensuring the basic facilities of washing hands, and for this, it says that making soap and water available should be taken as a priority, especially focusing on high density areas like refugee camps and urban slums. Then it says that keeping national fund for education intact, learning from home should be ensured, and especially focusing on the marginalized children. And then it also recommends the protection of children from child abuse and violence against them. And for this, it suggests for providing psychological support through social workers. And then this UNICEF recommendation also talks about the additional investment in the education. Through this, early childhood development could be ensured along with basic and secondary education. And also looking for the children who are already under some kind of vaccination programs. So, due to this pandemic, all these treatments have stopped, and that's how putting them on risk of their life. And on the other hand, pausing the vaccination of disease like measles and cholera, etc., can this can be another major risk of outbreak. And then it recommends to ensure the primary and secondary health services for the nursing and taking care of pregnant women. Also, one of its major recommendations is about introducing a package of universal income transfer. And this comes with an objective to help the vulnerable group and children. And along with this, it also recommends for an emergency universal child benefit. This is for the social protection of children. And then the recommendation of UNICEF says that providing personal protection equipment should be a major concern, because the nurses, the hospital staffs, also the common staffs who are coming out for the help and looking after the patients, they should feel safe while carrying out their duties. So friends, this was our today's discussion on UNICEF report on COVID-19, and this report was kept specific in COVID-19's impact on children in South Asian countries. So we hope that this video was of your immense help and we were successful in adding some value to your knowledge base. For any inquiry or doubt related to UPSC civil services, you can reach us at info@ishelpdesk.in. We are also available on Facebook. And friends, thank you so much for your time and patience.